everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. One thing I love about Team Recorder is that you guys are always getting in contact. I really love this. It feels like a kind of community is growing. I think I say that in every video. As usual, you have been sending me a lot of your questions about the recorder, so I thought I would do a new question and answer video. Questions. Death the Man asks, have you tried the ocarina? Christian asks, do you sometimes play F sharp on an alto like this, finger 1 and 2, and sometimes like this, just the thumb? Yes, this is an example of an alternative fingering. You can hear all about that in my video, Alternative Fingerings. As you can hear on this recorder, the thumb hole F sharp is slightly higher. This means we can blow a bit softer and it's like a soft fingering. On a different alto, it might be different. Basically, apart from dynamics, you can also use different alternative fingerings to influence the recorder's colour. So do try out different F sharps, see which one you like the best, but finger 1 and 2 is the most general one. Question. What do you think is the best way to play the same note in succession to highlight each note? So like, I would do it with the articulation. You can do this in two ways. You can play with the length of the note. For example, 4 notes, you could do da 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 da, or the tongue, which we use to articulate, can do da 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 da, but it can also do a million variations of articulation. We have everything from the t to so imagine you're speaking or singing through your recorder and try out all those different articulations. This idea of speaking or singing through your instrument can really work because it's making it connected to your musical idea. Iradia says, hi Sarah, nice video. Thanks. There's a lot of contemporary recorder examples in your videos. Can you please make a video on contemporary recorder music? Because I don't understand it like at all, but a lot of people play it, so there must be something to it. You're exactly right. It's fine to not understand a style of music when you first come to it. I have that with basically every style the first time I listen to it. And there are a lot of people like myself that love contemporary music. So yes, a contemporary music video is coming. And I'm just gonna say now, like any new genre, you need some time to get used to it. My biggest tip for listening to contemporary music is really open your ears to it, accept all the sounds and just be like, One interesting thing, whenever I play children, like I'd say children aged 10 and under, contemporary music, they love it. Try relating to it on that level as well as, what does this mean? Iradia also asks, which recorder do you like playing most? Is it the alto? Actually, no, it's not the alto. I quite like the alto, but it's not my favourite. I would say my favourite recorder to play is the tenor. I like to play the big instruments. The tenor has a lot of body and sound, but it's still small enough to be agile that you can play like... And she also asks, which do you prefer, handmade instruments or factory-made instruments? I'm gonna have to say it, I love my handmade instruments. There's something so special about having this carved, perfect, handmade instrument where you've met the maker, you've talked with them about what you want. But at the same time, I really enjoy playing my factory-made instruments from Merck or Mollenhauer or whatever. So yeah. Elena has written to me explaining her process of learning the diddle, and she says, there are explosions in my mouth, and when I practice in the mirror, I see my cheeks trembling. Yeah, I see what you mean. Basically, with any new movement, it's always going to be a bit less refined in the beginning. It's like driving a car. The first time you drive a car, you start it and it goes, and then later with practice, you start like, That's a bit the same with tonguing. In the beginning, it's going to be like, all these things are moving. but you're going to gradually refine that movement. It's going to get less. One thing I will say, keep it very natural and relaxed. You don't want any extra, no unnecessary tension. So it's really good you're looking in the mirror. I think with time, these explosions in your mouth will gradually reduce. Ashrel asks, I saw you teaching tin whistle techniques in a video. Are these tin whistle techniques applicable to the recorder? Yes, you probably saw me in the videos by my Irish composer friend Dara. That was a bit of a funny project where we actually adapted contemporary music for Irish whistles. I grew up playing folk music and doing folk dance, so I've always been playing on these whistles. You can definitely adapt this for the recorder. There are a few differences. The sound is very different. And some of the fingerings are different. The recorder is a chromatic / microtonal instrument. The whistle is very much diatonic, so you just lift your fingers up. Ba da 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 da. All of the kind of folk ornaments and styles of playing, it can definitely be adapted to your recorder. You will just get a different sound. Look at that. It's a different physical construction, but actually I'm planning a whole video on how to kind of play folk ornaments and folk licks on your recorder, so stay tuned for that. Sylvia says, I just got my first bass recorder. Yes! And I was wondering, is it the sort of instrument that's part of a symphony orchestra? Now, I don't like saying no. If we're talking about classical, romantic symphony orchestras, actually not really, but there is a lot of recorder in Baroque orchestra and Baroque opera. I have even played bass recorder in a Baroque orchestra that was playing French ballet music. We were playing Lully, and that was brilliant. And also, I'm pretty sure I played bass recorder in an opera by Matthew Locke called Psyche. Today there are a lot of composers writing recorder concertos, so you have recorder soloists in front of a big orchestra, and also pieces where the recorder is just part of the ensemble. I've played a few pieces with the New Ensemble, which is a contemporary music group in Amsterdam. Of course, this isn't everything. If you, dear viewer, have an example of where a in brackets bass recorder has been used in an orchestral setting, please leave it down below because I'm also really curious. Coffee. Marcello asks, how can I be faster with my ring fingers? This is a very common problem. If we look at our hands, the index fingers are the stars of the show, the ring fingers, I'm going to give you 3 tips. Number 1, relaxation is key. In a lot of my videos, I've given the relaxation exercise. After relaxation comes control. Put your metronome on and divide the beat into 2. 3. 4. 5. See where I'm going with this. Go up to 8 and then work your way back. Oh yeah, don't forget to do it with both ring fingers. And after this, your ring finger is slow, but you could look at it the other way. Your other fingers are fast. With the recorder, we have a lot of cross-forked fingerings, so your fingers have to work in combination as a team with the other ones. So I really like to take exercises with pairs of fingers. For example, let's look at this. We've got a slow ring finger and a fast index finger. We're just going to look at them and go boom, boom. And with air, if you hear a ba-da, that means one finger is faster than the other. So really look, try and make them work at exactly the same time. You could even combine it with your metronome thing. Mel asks, have you ever tried out recorders from other countries? A bit. Every country and every culture has its own version of an end-blown flute. As I said, I grew up playing folk music from Britain and Ireland. I play all of these guys. Aside from that, I studied Javanese gamelan for about 5 years, and there I played a little bit of suling, which is an Indonesian flute. I wasn't very good at it. Apart from that, I've basically stuck to the recorder. Christian asks, have you ever experimented with Turkish intervals? Now, by Turkish intervals, I assume you mean, in the more general term, microtones. A bit of background, in Western classical music, we split the octave into 12 equal notes. Of course, all of those steps you can split up. Example, E, F, that is a half tone. That is splitting the half tone, semitone up into quarter tone. I think in South Indian classical music, a scale can be broken up into 96 different steps. Answer to your question, yes, I play a lot with microtones. Peter asks, do you give your recorders names? I always felt it would be weird to name something that I then put in my mouth. Okay, 2 people have asked me, do I prefer German or Baroque fingering on the recorder? And why? Now, I got myself into a bit of hot water before explaining the difference between German and Baroque fingering. I explained it kind of inaccurately, so I'm really sorry about that. But the great thing was you all told me and I learned from this experience. So that's really good. German and Baroque fingering are basically 2 kind of fingering tuning systems. I hope I'm explaining this right. The difference is the 5th hole. I believe on German recorders the 5th hole is slightly smaller. It basically means on Baroque recorders you play the F like this. On German recorders you can play the F like this. I believe German fingered recorders were developed in order to give an easier F, but the big disadvantage is that it makes the tuning of a whole bunch of the other notes much harder. And the other thing is, as far as I know, you can only get German fingered recorders in soprano, alto and tenor. This means that you can't move on to the sopranino, the basset, any other styles. You're much more limited. So don't play German fingered recorders, just go for Baroque. And lastly, we have a whole host of quick questions from Andrea. On the shore, where does the mouth go on the recorder? Relax. And so it's just on your lip, not on your teeth, not like this. Throat tension, there should be none. Relaxed, very relaxed. How to tongue, where does the tongue go in your mouth? Okay, get your finger and feel behind your teeth. There's like that kind of gummy ridge. That is where your tongue should go, just so not anywhere near your teeth, but on the gummy ridge. Staccato notes. Do you stop the note with your tongue? Yes, you say like this. How do you move your mouth when you take a breath? So kind of normally, you don't have to go. And lastly, should your fingers hover over the holes rather than flying up in the air? Yeah, exactly. I play like this. If you do this, then you're making a lot of extra work for yourself, and I actually find everything gets tied to here. Kind of like this is ideal. The less you move, the less work it is. Wow, that was all of my questions. I hope you found this question and answer video useful. We got through a lot. As Team Recorder grows, I'm getting more and more mails from you guys. It means that it might take me a bit longer to get back to you. So much more to know. Please keep sending me your questions. As always, please subscribe to Team Recorder. I found out after my last video, Musical Style Challenge, that a lot of you who are subscribed aren't even recorder players, which is brilliant. Welcome, welcome. Maybe you want to start playing the recorder. Have a fantastic day. Bye.